Hi you all, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fun one. It's all about language development in young toddlers and how to encourage your child to start talking. Say cheese! This video will follow the path of a neurotypically developing child. However, the activities and exercises can easily be modified to fit many forms of neurodiversity as well. So without any more delays, let's hop to it and talk about how to get your toddler to talk. As always, I think it's important to kick this off with some background information about your child's brain. It may surprise you to know that your child began learning language in the womb, and when just hours old, she could distinguish between sounds of her native language and that of a foreign one. Some interesting new research that I'll link below has demonstrated that babies have memories of words and sounds as far back as 10 weeks before they were even born. Babies are laying the foundation for speech and language long before we ever thought it was possible. So how do we build on this innate desire to learn and understand speech? First, realize that your child is actively listening from the day they are born. Babies pay close attention to inflection, sound variation, and the spaces between words. Everything from the way you talk to your child to the arm that you cradle them in will all play a role in the way your child understands and replicates speech. One activity that you can begin, even if your child is still very young, is imitating conversation with your baby. Are you talking? Yeah. Did you have a good night? Did you like your first night away from home? Your child should begin babbling around 3 months of age, and you can capitalize on this by using the flow of sounds to mimic a conversation. This back and forth is very important as it helps to strengthen the connections between different language areas in your child's brain. Connecting the areas responsible for speech comprehension and the area responsible for language production is vital for future linguistic success. By around 12 months of age, your child should begin saying a few first words, most likely something like mama or dada. Don't let this limited vocabulary fool you though. Your child is actually undergoing a rapid expansion in the area of the brain related to language comprehension. Your child can understand far more than he or she can say. You can test this in your child by giving them simple and clear directions and watching as they complete the task. For instance, ask things like, "Can you bring me your shoes?" "Where is mommy?" "Can you point to the dog?"
"Can you smell the flowers?" Aww.
As with all games or exercises, be sure to keep your tone happy and excited. 1-year-olds will also use a lot of gesturing and grunting in lieu of typical communication, and it's important for you to positively reinforce these attempts at communicating and put words to their moves. Do you want to go outside? Can you say out?
Out.
Okay, should we open the door?
Open.
Open the door. For instance, if your child points excitedly at a ball, follow that up with ball, ball. "Do you want the ball?" or "Here's the ball." Be sure to simplify your statements for younger babies and expand on your sentences for older ones. It's also important to expose your child to a lot of directed vocabulary. That basically means that talking to them will have a much greater impact than simply talking to others while they are around. In our home, we like to do the narration technique, meaning we narrate to our son what he is seeing and doing. Things like, "We are taking a bath now, let's wash, wash, wash," or "It's time for dinner, this food is salmon and this food is broccoli. Here's your fork." It's also key to talk about things that your child is interested in. For instance, if he's looking intently at a toy, turn your conversation to that item.
Why? Why?
There's water in the bucket. Does the water feel cold?
Cold.
It's cold. Is it good? Is it yummy? Likewise, you should also talk with your kids about things that will happen in the future. For instance, with my son, I might say something like, "We are going to the grocery store now. We will ride in the car. When we arrive, you will see people and yummy food." Similarly, when you're talking about your home or giving directives, be sure to use clear and consistent language. For instance, instead of saying things like, "Put it over there," or "Put it down," say something more direct, like, "Please put the ball in the basket," or "Put the plate down. We keep our plates on the table when we eat." The variety of language exposure and the clear expression will go a long way in increasing your child's vocabulary and their understanding of language over time. Another simple way to expose your child to a greater vocabulary is with books. Books offer the unique opportunity to encounter objects that you might not see in your everyday life. For younger babies, I like to focus on the pictures more than the story. I'll point to objects in the book and say the names or sounds that the object makes. I like to use word association tools for most animals. For instance, if we encounter a dog, I will say, "Woof woof, dog." dog, woof woof. These little tools are great for helping your child to remember the words and the sounds that the animal makes. You can also use these handy 100 First Words books as a tool for creating conversations about a lot of common everyday objects. We start by just going through the books and pointing at objects while saying their names. In the early days, we might only go over a couple of items per page and then slowly build on them as my child learns the objects. Eventually, we move on to games using the books. I will ask, "Can you find the keys?" or "Can you point to the tree?" And next, we will finally take that big step to, "Can you say keys? Can you say banana?" No matter how you use books in your home, whether just reading the stories or using some of the techniques I talked about, they will go a long way in increasing your child's ability to talk. Finally, realize that children learn nouns before they learn the meaning of verbs or action words. You can help to encourage action vocabulary with this simple play-along game. Grab a baby doll or a stuffed animal, and then ask your child to feed the doll, brush her hair, tickle her tummy, etc. Practicing the action words together and offering a visual with the stuffed animal will go a long way towards teaching the understanding of various verbs that your family encounters in your daily speech. That about wraps it up for this video. It was kind of loaded, I feel like. And if you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, as that really helps me out in knowing what type of content to make for you all. If you have suggestions or you'd like to connect with me, be sure to check out my Instagram in the description. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Adios, everybody.